Hello everyone. So in this video I will explain about database schema in the SQL Server. So schema is a collection of database objects include table, view, trigger, store procedure, indexes. Schema is associated with a username which is known as the schema owner, who is the owner of logically related database objects. Simply, like when we don't create any schema, like in a database, if we create any of the table, so by default, if you see the list of table, you will be able to see there is a default schema DBO. So that is called database owner schema. So that default, actually SQL Server creates default, okay, when we don't specify the schema. Okay, so SQL Server provide us with some predefined schema which have the same name as the built-in database user and role. For example, DBO, guest, sys, and information schema. The default schema for a newly created database is DBO, which is owned by the DBO user account. By default, when you create a new user with the create user command, the user will take DBO as its default schema. Its meaning is very simple, like when we specify a schema while creating a table, it will the table will store in that schema, but when we don't specify, then SQL Server will assign our default schema name DBO that we call database owner. Let's see how to create a schema. So very simple syntax: create schema name, create a schema name. So a schema has been created. Now create schema statement allow you to create a schema in current database. So the database was master, so definitely it has created on master. Let's select YouTube. Now create it. Create schema name. Hold on, I think already one schema is there. Let's create. Yes, create it, because that query got failed because I had already employ schema in YouTube database. Now this is my test database. Let's open this test. So in the test database, if I like, I have an option to create any of the object inside this schema. So after creating a database schema, we have an option to drop a schema. The very simple, just drop a schema. If exists, then employ. Uh, so I'm just going to drop is created a schema, drop if exist employ. Hold on, I have already the query. When I execute this, what will happen? The schema will be dropped in a SQL Server. Let's see. So schema got dropped. So this is how we can create a